Point of tonight is obviously to see where you're at physically, mentally, what's going on, what we need to do to course correct, how you're traveling, and it's a midway point to really see what we need to do to continue on with a win for the week, guys. This is one of my favourite sessions, Sundays and Wednesdays. Gio, welcome, mate. Dave, another Dave. Thanks for joining in, fellas. So we'll work our way around, guys, just to see how you're all traveling with everything and what we can do to make sure we're staying focused in these times. That's a big thing for me. So, and we'll dive into that at the end to talk about wants versus needs and how you can actually differentiate the two, because that's a big thing. It's a big thing. What we believe are needs are not necessarily, they may just be wants and vice versa. The word worry is no longer allowed in the house, and neither is the news. It's not that I'm uninformed, it's that I don't want to be misinformed. And a large problem with what I'm seeing happening at the moment is fear. Fear is one of the greatest ways that you can be controlled, and I say fuck that, and I will no longer choose to be triggered that way as well in what I'm doing moving forward. So let's work our way around, fellas. We'll dive into that later in the piece and close off the session. It was a frustration to see that, how much, it's a really big lesson for all of us, fellas, because when we talk about energy and that sort of stuff, and I say frequencies and vibrations, it's not from a line of some spiritual wizard. Like, you feel it, don't you? It's a testing time, mate, when you feel that you're thrust in that environment because of different circumstances that we check ourselves, which it sounds like you've done, which is awesome. It's good, mate. It's important. That's going to be what helps really kickstart your metabolism, and that's going to help you with, help you with everything, especially any stress that you're going to hold in fluid around your body. That's why you've already lost an inch off the guts. You know, you're not working, you're training, you're getting food in. It's awesome. There is always something, mate. It's good. It's important for you and for all of us to value ourselves above and beyond anything else at the moment. And one of those ways is exercise. It's just funny how we are conditioned for so fucking long to see food as a reward and a treat, right? So as soon as we're kicking ass and dominating, it's like, yes, I can relax and this can be my treat and my reward. And it's like, it's funny, mate, you're not alone there. Even though there's so much amazing food out there that tastes good, it's just it's a funny vice that we can fall into. But no, you're not alone there, mate. But it's good that you're recognising it and keeping the standard high, that's for sure. Yeah, more important. Look, there are things where we need to move hard and fast, but it's also understanding this is the long game, fellas. Life's the long game. And it's interesting because, you know, World War One was like 100 years ago, and then there was World War Two. There's heaps of other shit. So it's like, I've had some people be surprised to me. I'm like, do you not expect in one lifetime to be at least 2 or 3 massive horrific events that happen? Because that seems to be what's consistently true. But the big thing that I like about what Drew said is understanding environment. There's only one environment that actually ever really matters. That's your internal environment. And what we have which is our inner circle, that's what RDM is. We're creating our own ecosystem, is the opportunity for you to project and express that internal environment and then help you reset and realign that the way that you need to and the way that you want to for yourself. Which is key things, and thanks for bringing that up as well. I potentially could let myself down at times because it's such a busy world, so fucking crazy. There's always something going on. Focus is the big one, and it's a great way to have it, mate. That's a really good way to put it in front of you every single day. Just hit that switch straight into it. Such a compounding factor, isn't it, when I look at it? And then there's a bit of a delay when you do it. We just get in that grind and I can just do it, I can push through it because you can, right? And then all of a sudden it catches up, mate, which is showing. That was like me all the way up until I sold the gym, and now I've only just started sort of hitting my straps again, probably just under 2 weeks ago. It's been a big 6 months, man. It's been a big, period of time, for a while now, but that was really funny how you get in that zone, and then you don't realise whether you get sick or not or run down, you'll bounce back quickly, but you don't realise until you step back and then you feel rejuvenated. And yeah, the kids aren't sleeping and Corinne's going through all that sort of stuff never helps, but it's important to recognise it, but then secondly to back it up, which you will do, mate, which is good. That's and I'm glad you brought that up as well, because it's one of those things, fellas, we have to, it's our duty and responsibility, right, with our family. Like, that's how I feel. It's a need to look after my family. So what I do is I rewire myself in my own head to go, the best way I can look after them is through myself, through being the best I can be. And it's not easy, mate, because we default and we go back, but it's the only way, because what are you helping them with? Well, with you, your brain, your body, your resourcefulness, the way you think, your perspectives. It has to be, mate. So yeah, just make sure you're taking that time out for you, regardless of how much work ramps up or where it's at with your boss and whatnot. Take that time out for you so you can continue to support them, man. Is it worth it? There are so many times when we're going to feel like we're under a residual fatigue and we're struggling. We just don't have those moments inside of us to go, I can get through it, and it's hard. And it is hard to do it on your own. And for me, it feels like life many times, especially lately, has felt like a really long fucking footy game. I've got these massive Maoris that just want to take my head off, or a really, really long CrossFit workout where my heart rate's exploding. But it's almost like you just reach out a little bit more. Be smart, be flexible, be strategic. Don't burn yourself out. Don't do it off adrenals, and adrenaline and pump. But just reach out just that little bit more. Just a little bit more, and I'll get there. Is it worth it? Is it worth it to me? Yes. Am I copping it more than anyone else? Yes. Well, we are men, and we are leaders in our own right, and we have a different power source and level of logical thinking that we can tap into to be the leaders for our families or for our children or for each other. And that's crucial. Not that women don't have a place or they don't have the level of their own power, but where we're at right now is the reason why we are leaders, and we can lead through our actions. And a big line of that is through perspective, which I'll do a video on tomorrow talking about wants and needs. And the only reason that we feel we need something is when we place a level of value over it. The only time when we value something is when we have a line of perspective over it. The only way we have a line of perspective over it is when we either choose something else to influence or allow us to have that level of belief, or we create it ourselves, or is something we've repatterned in our own conditioning. These are important things. Look, we're out at the moment with our life right now, and this isn't a coaching video on fucking Corona. Screw that shit. Like I'm sick of that word fear, like I said, and I'm sick of these levels of energy. Look, everyone's out there. They're all posting on Facebook. Awesome. I'm doing my little bits and pieces here, and everyone's pumped for a month. Great. Then what's going to happen? This is the long game. What are the wants? What are the needs? What do we need? We need food. We need water. We need a roof over our head. But you know what we need the most? Ourselves. You need to invest in yourself. That should be number one. Number one, valuing yourself and putting that time and effort into yourself trumps everything. The end. And when we do that, well, everything else can flourish. There's always a way. But the only way that you see the way is through you being that person that you know you must be, in the way that it changes. What I've done over the last 6 months has steeled me incredibly. Every single person is in the same boat, fellas, where it looks at your perspective on how you choose to see things. Is it a want? Is it a need? Okay, cool. Am I burning energy and wasting time here, or here? What does worry even mean? Does that get you further in life? What about fears? I have fears. You can have concerns, you can analyze, but at the end of the day, the best thing we can do is focus on ourselves and what's important to us and our internal environment and the inner circle right here and now, because that's what's going to nourish you the most. Exactly what Drew said. There will always be something happening to and around us. It's how we choose to respond, not react, to respond to what's happening around us, that ultimately gives us the ability to create and recreate what we desire and what we choose to do and who we choose to be moving forward. And you can always choose. There's always a choice in who you want to be, not in who you are. You can be whoever you want to be. Comes from a line of how you see yourself and either the limiting beliefs that we put in place or the standards that we continue to set and reach for. What I was disgusted about was my feeling and how I let fear enter me. It was only for a moment, and I was like, never again, never again. Yes, I've got big plans. I'd love to be here longer. But if I die tomorrow and a bus hits me or something, so be it. So be it. And when you live with that frequency and energy, you will be bulletproof. I guarantee you. Let's wrap it up here, fellas. I'll dive into this a little bit more with a pretty powerful piece I've got planned for tomorrow. And you're doing an amazing job. And yes, that's an awesome, it absolutely does, Drew. You're a byproduct of what you choose and allow to enter your inner frame, which is exactly what this is here. Like every single one of you is creating the version of who I am right now. That's the truth. And that's been the period of my entire life. Who is Alex Ranieri? It doesn't even fucking matter. It's just a name. It's a collective of every single other life force and energy force that I've chosen and allowed to enter my life. And that's why we are all a team together. And while I don't have the Michael Jackson glove, I'm certainly going to be spearheading the attack on making sure it's crystal clear that we do lead our lives. We lead through actions and showing, not telling, and we do it for the long haul, not for March, not for April, not for 2020. The decade of dads. That's my background. It stays. It's everything. And it starts now. What a phenomenal opportunity what can be considered dire straits by some, by many, for us to rise up and showcase what we're really about. Have an amazing night, boys. Appreciate your time as always. Let's keep on charging on. Have some big wins to finish out the week, and I'll see you tomorrow with our Pillar of Power Thursday.